Hey man, hey, what the hell's you doing? Why is you cooking in the sink, man? I go through my dookie to find my balloons after visit in that sink. That's nasty, man. You gonna eat that? Ew. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Now, as you all should know by now, prison life is struggle life. We didn't have all the luxuries and containers and different sized bowls or knives and real forks. You literally had to cut your vegetables with the metal top from the tuna can. Now, what I'm gonna tell y'all might possibly be one of the most revolting things you've ever heard, but trust me when I say it's true, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Now, in prison, it is a common practice to let other guys prepare your food. Now, I'm not talking about the guys in the mess hall kitchen. I'm talking about guys making hookups to share. But you ain't watching them, you don't see the preparation. You don't know how that man get down in his cell, and you just eat it because you hungry. We talking about prison, y'all, where turning down food someone offers you could be seen as disrespectful, and some beef could start from that. So, a quick tip, like I've always told y'all many times before, cook your own food in prison. Now, when in prison, you will find any and many things useful. Almost everything gets reused. Bottles, cans, bread bags, rubber gloves. Now, when it comes to cooking large meals, you need more space. And the things used might be disgusting. Well, to others, that is, but a delicacy in prison. For example, the prison was often used to make a large batch of mixed drinks. Now, you could have juice and vodka or whatever was, on deck. You simply scoop out all the water from the bowl in the toilet. Then you're supposed to clean it real good. Clean as you can, I guess. Then you start dumping your ingredients in. People even add fresh fruit in the mix. Now, I know what y'all thinking. You gotta be real special. You gotta be a real special type of person to drink out the shit bowl. And I totally agree with y'all. But, hey, it's prison. People turn into monsters in prison. Now, that wasn't it. Oh, no, nah. Sometimes, people use the bed bunk to cook also. They're damn near set the whole cell on fire trying to get the metal hot enough to cook meat. Pause. Now, those bed frames, they all rusted and nasty. Nobody cared, that they cook a hamburger or a sausage on that dirty bed frame. Nobody cared. Another common cook prep area was the sink. Yeah, y'all. The same sink they shaved in, brushed their teeth, and spit in, washed their hands in. That same sink turns into a huge mixing bowl, y'all. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen anything about forensics, but whatever's in those pipes never leave. They could go back and get forensics out of those pipes years from now. That means whatever's in those pipes could possibly linger back up into your hookup or your mix-up. There is no way that you can keep your food safe from what lies in those pipes and drains when you're using the sink. That's just disgusting, y'all. But it happened, and I saw it. And I saw people get sick. And I saw people do it over and over and over again, no matter what, because they needed space to mix a large hookup. And for the people that got sick, they just was considered as the wimps. They wasn't strong enough. Their stomach wasn't ready yet. So now, not only do you have to worry about goons in prison, you got to worry about somebody potentially handing you a bowl of poison, pretty much. Food poisoning. Yeah. You got to always watch exactly what's going on around you. Because some of the people around you, they ain't come from good backgrounds. They ain't have good home training. They don't know what's safe and what's not. Now this story is going to be about a guy named Jarvis. And Jarvis was a drug runner, a mule to be exact, in the prison. And he's in a cell with a Crip named Chief. Chief, he liked to normally, or rather regularly, have his boys over there in the cell and entertain, and they be kicking in and beating down, and there's no drama, none. But they be in there eating and stuff. They don't never offer, Jarvis none of it. Excuse me, y'all. They don't offer him nothing. And eventually, I guess Jarvis started feeling some type of way. And this had been going on for months and months and months. So Jarvis decided, hey, you know what? I got my perfect get back. I know exactly what I'm going to do. When I come back, I'm going to find my balloons in that sink. And I know y'all like, what you mean find my balloons in that sink? Just keep listening, y'all. Just keep listening. Now, Chief, he got a big old hookup plan for about 10 people. So he need, a whole bunch of soups, a whole bunch of cans. He mixing it up. He getting some sausages, all types of stuff, y'all. Cutting up boiled eggs. He got fresh bell peppers and onions going in the mix. Yeah, he doing it big. And it's all going in the prison sink, y'all. Yep. He got it all in the prison sink. Heating up. That's right. Now, I know y'all thinking of the bacteria and everything else that's possibly laying on that sink under the surface that you can't even see. Yeah, I'm thinking about it too, y'all. My stomach just bubbling right now thinking of anybody that ate that. But, like I said, this is prison. And in prison, either you down or you get down. The alternative is worse. Now, he mixing up a big old hookup, y'all. A lot of money went into those ingredients and everything that went into that hookup. He got the whole loaf of bread over there ready for his boys to make sandwiches. He planned on having him a whole party. Whole bunch of Crips. It's a party. Now, his roommate, Jarvis, was not in the cell at this time. So, when he comes back to the cell and sees all of these Crips in the cell and they chilling, he don't even come into the cell. He just sitting there at the doorway and he looking. And he like, hey, what y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? Ain't nothing going on, man. You good? Come on in, you good? He just want to make sure he was being respectful. They wasn't having a meeting or nothing like that. Starting no unnecessarily beef. Like, nah, you good, you good. So he going in there, get on his bunk and chill. He hoping, he thinking that, yeah, they gonna offer me a sandwich sooner or later. It's definitely a lot of food left. And even though it's nasty, Jarvis is willing to eat one of these nasty sandwiches, y'all. because he's hungry. But they scrape the bowl, y'all. They don't offer Jarvis not one sandwich. So Jarvis just turned over like, all right, man, bump y'all, man. I ain't going no more, man. I ain't putting up with this no more, man. Damn, I'm a good cellmate. You ain't gonna look out for me? I got you. I got you. Now, this is something that I told you Chief do a lot. He make this hookup pretty much every night and invite all his homies over to eat. Well, the next hookup that he makes might just be his last hookup in the prison sink. Next day's visit call. Here go Jarvis, fresh off a visit. Yeah, and I already told y'all, Jarvis moved them things. So he hurrying on back to his cell. And he can't wait. He can't wait for two reasons, y'all. One, whatever he's holding, he's about to get paid for big time. And two, it's time for Jarvis to get his little lick back. Now, normally Jarvis will go ahead and put the white sheet up and go to the bathroom like he normally do. But not this time, y'all. This time, he put the white sheet up and he propped himself up over the sink and he dropped deuces right in that sink, y'all. Now, I know y'all like, what kind of sick person would do something like that? Well, Jarvis wasn't sick, y'all. Jarvis, for one, he had to find his balloons. He said he was going to find his balloons in that sink. Well, y'all, that's what he meant. His balloons were hidden in his shit. So he immediately turned on the warm water and started smearing it all over the sink, y'all. Getting it in all the crevices, all of the holes on the bottom, on the side. Yeah. He rinsed off all of his balloons, put them in his pocket. Then he commenced to rinsing all of that stuff that he just did all over the sink. Yeah. Even the knobs, y'all. Even the knobs. He made sure it got on the knobs. And he rinsed it off lightly. But without soap or alcohol, y'all already know, y'all. The bacteria is still there. It ain't going nowhere without a proper cleaning. And let me tell you, y'all, in prison, there is no such thing as a proper cleaning. When you go to get a tattoo in prison, you are literally risking having your arm or your neck or your back turn black from infection and possibly have to be removed. You are playing with your life in prison. We don't have alcohol or hydrogen peroxide. We don't have Band-Aids. Nah, if it's bad enough, you might get up to see the nurse. Maybe. If not, they're going to tell you go sit down in your cell and shake it off, inmate. That's your fault. You tough, right? You tough, right? And well, sometimes you might think you tough until you sitting in a cell and the whole side of your leg is an open wound that won't close. And it's getting worse and worse, turning colors. And you asking for help. And the CO telling you to go sit the hell down, inmate. I don't want to hear your bunch of crap, inmate. It's your fault you hit, inmate. Now, what do y'all think happened after Jarvis did what he did? He washed his hands. The sink looked like it was clean to eye's glance. And he left. He left the cell as usual, went about his business. And when he came back to the cell, people, he caught Chief in the middle of hooking it up. He had 10 soups in the sink already. Seasoning salt in the sink. He done chopped up tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, summer sausage, chunks of chicken, and just for a little added flavor, a little bit of that jackmat. Yeah. Cheese doodles on the side, ready to be crushed. He done smashed them. He's mixing, and he's stirring. Oh yeah, it's getting nice. It's getting sandwich quality now, y'all. And he's scraping the bottom, scraping. Every time that, that little fork or whatever go through, it's like ting, ting, ting. You can tell it's hitting the bottom. Now, Jarvis walked in the cell and he said, "Hey man, hey, what you doing, man? What you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh man, I'm making a hookup. I'm just making another hookup for my boys, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, my boys." They're like, "Oh yeah, your boys, huh? Oh, alright. Word. I'ma just chill. I'ma just chill here and watch TV." So that's what he did. Now slowly all of his boys is rolling in and the hookup is ready. They're busting the loaf of bread open. They all making sandwiches. They done got about 3 sandwiches each. And there's a lot of them, y'all. There was more than enough food that they could have split or shared at least 1 or 2 sandwiches with Jarvis. But nah, once again, they selfishly devoured all that food right in front of his bunk. Yeah, they all standing there eating, chilling, just kicking it, talking about old times when they was on the streets, this and that. Have no regard for human life. So once Jarvis saw them eat those sandwiches and everybody was pretty much done with their food, he got down off that bunk and he looked at his bunkie and said, Hey, Chief, man. Hey, I meant to tell you, man, I don't know why you keep, hooking up in the sink. We be brushing our teeth in the sink and spitting in the sink." And Chief like, "Oh man, that ain't nothing, man. I clean it real good, man. I clean the sink real good. I make sure ain't nothing in there. I run the water. I make sure it's real good." He's like, "Yeah, well, I don't think that water could get rid of the bacteria from feces." He's like, "Oh, what you talking about, man? There's a sink, man. The toilet water ain't coming up in there." He's like, "Nah, that ain't what I'm talking about. I use the sink to find my balloons after visit every single time." Even though he only did it once, but he wanted to put that in his mind. Every single time I went to visit, I find my balloons in the sink. I gotta crush my dookie up and find the balloons in the sink and wash it down, drain. He's like, "Oh man, hey man, stop lying, man. You want some bullshit." Now all Crips, they looking at, his cellmate, they looking at Chief like, "Hey man, is he telling the truth, man? Oh man, what the hell? What you got us eating, man? You got us eating shit? Hey man, no man, I ain't feeling this, man." And they all throwing their plates on the floor and they leaving up out the cell. Some of them is over in the corner throwing up. Some of them made it to the toilet. They throwing up. They trying to get it up out of them. And everybody mad as hell. And he just looking at Chief like, "Hey, nigga, you could have offered me 1 sandwich. Just 1 sandwich. That's all I wanted was 1 sandwich." And that's how he was going. And Chief over there like, "Hey, man. Hey, and he just started feeling his stomach, I guess. And next thing you know, he puking. He throwing up all over the cell floor. And I guess maybe some particles, or maybe it was just subconscious in their minds. Once they heard what was done in that sink, they all assumed that they was infected or tasted it or ingested it, and they immediately got sick to their stomachs. The human mind is crazy, y'all. Remember that. The human mind is real crazy to the point where you could look at a picture one way, but if it's displayed another way, it'll look a whole different picture. So you gotta be mindful when your mind's playing tricks on you. And in that instance, I personally think that Chief and his Crips, their minds was playing games on them. I do eventually think they would have, really gotten real sick. But I think at that particular moment, when they heard what happened in that sink, their immediate reaction was stomach wrenching. If that makes any sense to y'all, get in the comment box. Let me know what y'all think about that. Do you think Jarvis did the right thing since they wouldn't share with him? Since they ate all of those sandwiches in front of him and left him out? Or do you think Chief did the right thing by only taking care of his homeboys? The people that looked after him? Let me know, y'all. Let me know. Needless to say, people, not maybe 20 minutes would go by before the Crips ran back up there, got a hold of Jarvis, completely washed him out, beat the brakes off of him, not even knowing whether what he said was true or not, but just for what he said, he got the brakes beat off of him, and he ended up getting transferred out of the prison because he had some real beef at that point. All right, y'all, that's going to be it for this story. I hope you liked it. Like, share, subscribe, get in the comment box. Let me know your thoughts. With that, this is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and I'm out.